You are listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You, in fact, can find the entire show on social media at MMMShow75. And that up there is Byron Fever.
What up? I'm pointing at Justin accurately. What up? Catch it.
There it is. Catch it. Catch
it.
And that over there is at Meefloaf.
Hello. I'm also pointing at Justin, but you can't see.
Well, he's
don't catch that.
And you don't want to see.
You don't want to see
why
he's
don't we want to see?
Justin.
Are you watching Nikita Lyons match right now? Is that what's happening?
Who is that?
Oh god, she did a terrible barrel roll thing in the corner and completely missed her opponent.
I haven't watched NXT in a while. Like, has Triple H Triple H'd NXT yet? Like, he's Triple H'd everything else? Has it happened yet?
No, I think he's very busy in another building.
He's busy NXTing everything else other than NXT, right? Okay, well, that makes sense. I think NXT is going to take a little more love this time around from the H-Man. Anyway, I said that I'm taking notes or whatever for this episode. I'm getting stuff down and just kind of watching some wrestling, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is so cool. We're going to do an MMM show. And finally, for the first time in like a month, there's no Vince McMahon shenanigans to talk about. But then like 15 minutes before we get on, like you or Casey or somebody's DMing me about the new McMahon of it all. And I'm just like, oh, brother, here we go again. This fucking guy. So WWE just released the they basically had to file with the SEC to declare what the hell they're going to do with this money, because basically it screws up their books even more if all of a sudden right now they claim all these payments as expenses that Vince made on the books, and Vince is going to pay them for these expenses. It's like it was his money to begin with, but it went through the company. So now he's got to directly pay it back, which is no problem for him at all. The problem is the fact that, of course, hush money was not declared on their expenses in 2007, 8, 9, whenever the hell all this stuff happened. So now the WWE is basically forced to just, regardless of whatever the consequences are, if they have any hope of salvaging the company, which they do, this is not surprisingly uncommon for these things to happen, sadly. But basically, they have to redeclare to the government and try to spread these payments out over different periods. But in the course of doing that, they're now saying that there's $5 million more than what had even been reported previously.
So far.
17.4 million altogether, and they're only till 2009. They've still got another 10 years.
Right, and they want to spread that across filings from 2019, 2020, 2021, and the first quarter of this year. They want to spread that out to account for the bookkeeping, because the problem is the fact that their books were incorrect then. If they don't make them correct now, especially anything within the last 5 years, that means that their taxes are probably off and their corporate statements are probably off. Their shareholder statements are off. And that could mean real problems from the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission. So basically, they have to try to make it as right as possible, but they understand that they can still get subpoenaed. They're showing what's called best efforts right now with the new leadership is showing best efforts to rectify any inconsistencies with their record keeping. And they also have to say that they have now realized that their corporate leadership at the time, being Vince McMahon, was incapable of accurately keeping the books, and they can kind of blame it back on him. Yeah, but this is why he had to step down. Like, he absolutely had to, or he's ruining his own share prices. Like the guy still has share prices, and at this point, it's not even about how he looks. It's about getting his fucking money. He can't get his money unless they clean this shit up. So, and look, it doesn't matter how many hush payments there were at this point either. He might as well just come clean about all of them and just have it all get out there. So I don't know if they are still going to find more or not.
I don't know. It's 500 million later.
I would imagine that Vince's legal team, his personal lawyers, are probably trying to make sure none of these things are going to lead to further legal action.
Yeah.
But look, settling or taking payment for an NDA is basically the equivalent of settling a lawsuit before a lawsuit has been brought. And it pretty much means that there will never be any civil lawsuits. So doesn't mean that he still couldn't be tried for an actual crime. If somebody can prove that, if there's certain evidence of actual.
How long has Tamina Snuka been employed?
Well, a long time.
Look at that. Look, girl searching for that briefcase and that police officer.
So I just find it's terribly interesting to see where this is all going to end up. And it is really weird because the more and more Vince becomes tainted, it really sucks for the whole business. Like I was even watching that A&E show, the Lex Luger one, and it's like there's so much footage of Vince just even tied to every superstar's freaking story at some point in time. Like Vince McMahon is tied to it. So it just like, look, not that the Lex Luger story isn't dirty enough on its own. Like I watched that whole thing and I was like, thank God they're not trying to make me feel bad for this guy. Like they didn't go full dark side of the ring, but they certainly didn't sugarcoat it either. It's like, yeah, bro, Eric Bischoff is pretty much in there. Like, yeah, I was pretty mad at him for killing Elizabeth. Like,
yeah, that was kind of a bummer that he did that.
That he killed Miss Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Got that Eric Bischoff threw him under the bus. Which one are you defending, Byron?
Look, I think Bischoff had the right take too. Of like, look, Elizabeth was a grown ass person. She made the foolish mistake of getting involved with Lex and all his drugs and all his bullshit. Like, she has a certain amount of culpability as well. But also, Lex Luger's a piece of shit. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that for anybody. I get that he's found Jesus now, and I get that he's repenting, but. Let's let him repent for the rest of his life. The great
American get out clause, isn't it? In America. Jesus.
He didn't really have a choice, did he? He was homeless, living on a cot.
That's what happens when you let Protestants build a country.
He was backwards.
Look, I'm not going to let your boy Sting off the hook either. He was in there popping pills and doing all the same shit with Lex. He just
never murdered anybody.
He found Jesus sooner. That's it. That's the only difference between Lex Luger and Sting. Sting found Jesus sooner.
But Sting found Jesus as a choice. And like he didn't find Jesus because
right. Lex Luger found Jesus in jail.
Yeah, but Luger was pretty much like handicapped, or he still can't walk, but like he was like homeless, left for dead. And now he's
what you're saying is Jeff Hardy's gonna become devout Christian.
I don't know.
He already is. Believe it or not.
Jesus Christ. I forgot. If you're a Christian, all you have to do is say, "Oh, yeah, I'm sorry."
That's Catholic. That's the other Christian.
No, Catholics just fuck boys.
Wow, Meef is just on a tear already tonight.
Not all of them, just the ones with the collars.
Anyway, that wasn't even what I wanted to start with tonight. What I wanted to start with tonight was
hold on,
holy shit.
Before you get there.
Go ahead.
By the way, this is a good point. James Sarno says, I don't care who Luger found. He will always
he found Elizabeth dead in his garage, didn't
he? Yeah, well, yes.
He did.
That is what he found. He found a dead woman on his couch or whatever.
How did this happen?
Microwaving her dinner. How did what happen? Oh, you're talking about Lex?
Yeah. No, that's what he did. That's what he says when the police come in. He's like, I was not doing drugs in the living room by myself. Anyway.
So two weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Vince McMahon, or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, Vince McMahon retires.
Yeah.
And so we had been talking to Killer Kross a little bit, trying to work out a time with him where he could come on the show. And, you know, the guy's was taking 4 or 5 fucking indie dates a week at the time and getting ready for Flair's last match. So his schedule was a little limited. Byron works full-time job. So do I. We work shoot jobs. So it was
we were texting with him though, but it never, we couldn't get the show.
And he wanted to come on. And then the Vince McMahon retirement news drops, and I'm texting with Kross, and I'm just like, holy shit, bro, are you going to call H? And he's just like, oh my God, I can't believe all this is happening. Like, he was just totally dumbfounded. Like, you could tell Kross had no clue what to do. Like, oh my God, is this my fucking opportunity? Do I try to get back in? What the fuck do I do? And that's like, literally, that's 2 weeks ago. And it didn't sound like he really knew the status, or it sounded like maybe he reached out and he didn't really know what they were doing. And of course, he probably kayfabing me a little bit or whatever, but we were still trying to work out a time for him to come on, and it didn't sound like he was going to go to WWE immediately, or certainly not at the time that he had heard anything yet. But then apparently sometime over the weekend during Flair's last match, there was a lot of people there. Maybe it was Jeff Jarrett, maybe it was somebody else, but it looks like he ironed things out. And, you know, I heard from a couple people that he's all good with MLW or wherever else he had dates and contracts. And I don't think that he's going to finish those. So WWE.
Someone actually said that apparently he's going to try and finish out his indie dates. I don't know if that's the same. But...
I mean, maybe that was the arrangement. So there's been a couple of other WWE superstars where this kind of stuff has happened, where they've wanted to bring them in for a big thing. They've still had some other stuff on their contracts. So sometimes they'll let them go out and do that other stuff just to keep everyone in the business happy. But I can't imagine that they're going to let him do TV for MLW or one of those promotions. So I'm assuming that he probably got bought out of that stuff, and then maybe there's a few indie shows or whatever that he might still show up to. And look, if he does, better go to those shows, because it's probably the last time you'll see him on the indies for a long time. And I'm glad I got to see him at Circle 6 while he was doing the little run.
Destined to never see him unless I have to go to WWE's show now.
Now it looks like the case, because the return of Karrion Kross was not just a return. Like, he was not back as the Gladiator. There's no skirt. I was very happy.
Bring back the helmet.
Worn ring gear yet, so don't speak too
okay,
soon.
true, but we did say on the show, we were like, look, if he comes back, good Lord, please put him in street clothes. He looks so much more badass, just like as a dude, you know. And I even questioned some of his other ring attire, where he was looking a little too, you know, European shoot fight or whatever. Like, and he likes that stuff, like, because he loves Dutch kickboxing, and he loves a lot of the Muay Thai stuff. Like, he personally likes that.
He goes to the same school with Shinsuke Nakamura, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I've always thought that Kross would look good in longer trunks or something like that. That maybe even kickboxer style, but get him out of the tight trunks, the tighties. Personally.
Oh, you mean like the knee length?
Yeah, like the shorts. More like MMA shorts, and not the
ones that look like boxer shorts.
Yeah. Look, if I had thighs like that, maybe I would do it too, but fuck. So anyway, the actual fucking return surprised the shit out of me. Surprised I heard the music hit, and I was like, no, that's Kross's music. Is this a fucking gag? You know, and it was one of those moments where, like, oh shit, and that's the him and Scarlett entrance. It's not the solo thing, it's the full deal. And then he takes out fucking Drew McIntyre in the middle of a Roman Reigns segment.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh my fucking God. Not only are they bringing Kross back, but they're bringing him back disrupting the top program in wrestling. The top guy who is drawing huge numbers, who's got all the fucking belts with him and his cousins. Like,
all the merch.
You can't do that. Like, wait a minute. I know Kross was the guy for H, and like, he was a good champion in NXT and everything. And here I'm thinking, okay, Kross gets to come back. He'll work his way up. Maybe he'll go through an Ezekiel, or maybe they'll face him off with Omos. He can be the one guy to finally take down the giant, the Nigerian giant or whatever. I am not thinking there's a snowball's chance in hell. I'm thinking it's Kross Ziggler. I'm thinking I'm not thinking there's any snowball's chance in hell coming right back that he's in or even adjacent to a program with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know, because don't they have a show that's built around Drew McIntyre coming up? It's in a castle.
They do, but look,
in Wales.
All that stuff was booked. All that stuff was booked by McMahon and Triple H. His starting point was, I'm taking the pay-per-views and I'm redoing some shit. Triple
H is taking his sword back.
Please.
The other thing as well, what you've got to remember about the Kross thing is that it's, everybody pays the toll at some point. So it's not directly now, if you know what I mean. So this little thing with Drew can probably go ahead and then...
Well, I immediately thought Highlander, which is one of Kross's favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Kross, it's Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
Drew the Highlander McIntyre, and, there can be only one. That can be only one. Or however.
Christopher Lambert got taller.
Christopher Lambert, this weird, awkward voice. Where is Christopher Lambert from? Is he
Belgium.
Belgium? Okay, yeah.
He's from Belgium, yeah.
Which means because he's got like a
three
Dutch,
languages.
German, French accent.
Flemish.
Yeah. Flemish. That can be only one.
He's got the best laugh ever, though. He's got the best laugh. It's amazing.
Oh, and I was so happy because now I get to break this back out. This thing's been sitting at the bottom of my closet. I'm like, all my other Kross shirts are in my storage locker in LA. This is the only Kross shirt I have in Cleveland. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I when I came out here a couple years ago during the beginning of the pandemic, I had left half my shit in LA because I came right from doing a show. Yeah. And Kross was still in WWE. And then I'm like, fuck, now I'm stranded in Cleveland and the only Kross shirt I got. So
we'll have more.
And I agree. Look, I agree with this comment, and this is actually something I wanted to talk about. Sarno was talking about it'll be interesting to see how Cody Rhodes is booked by H when he returns from injury. And here is one of the other big factors, because part of why Vince did all of that is that Cody was a Nick Khan project that Vince agreed with. And they gave him whatever he wanted, but it looks like Kross is getting what he wants too. He's back with Scarlett. He's doing the actual Toll Man gimmick. He's using the hourglass, the TikTok thing,
all the NXT bells and whistles.
Yeah, and
don't know about that elbow though.
NXT now, if you're watching the Ciampa program, is being referenced. It matters now. It's in the canon. If you were an NXT champ. And Triple H is basically saying, like, no, I built those fucking gimmicks with my fucking blood, sweat, and tears. I'm going to use them on the big show. What I did over there matters. And he's doing a little retcon on the meaninglessness of NXT, and now it has relevance. So it does bear the question of, Nick Khan is still sitting up at the top with Stephanie, but in the power triumvirate of Stephanie, Nick, and Triple H, do things still go the way that Nick Khan saw them going for the company to make money and get ready for a sale? Or is Triple H just wholesale able to do whatever he wants? And if he doesn't like Cody, can screw him over or whatever?
Well, I think it all still works in theory, or big picture can still go as planned. But the issue is Cody's big story. Like, he's only doing, let's just say he's doing like 3 matches this year, or no more than 3 in the next year, coming back and then doing something and getting his title shot that he was in line for. But that was going through Seth and Roman, which Cody, when he left, he had already beaten Seth like 6 times in a row. And he was primed to beat him again at least 2 or 3 more times
in a row on pay-per-view,
and
big events,
for some reason,
and weekly television.
Yeah, and then somehow Seth would still be more over than Cody each time, but still, but he was primed to do all that and like he was actually for the first time considered a legitimate contender to Roman Reigns. If not, like people wanted to see him win or would be ready.
Yeah.
By the time
now,
WrestleMania
I still never felt like Cody was ever going to take the belt off of Roman, though. I felt like Roman was going to drop before Cody got to the belt.
It's going to be the Rhodes versus the Miz's.
Oh, good Lord.
Rhodes versus Missourians battle for the
Cody already had his
reality TV.
Cody already had his match with Miz. And
yeah, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have another 10 in him.
Rate already had like jumped up so much that even when he's just taking it easy on Raw, like he like locked out Miz and Miz couldn't figure out what roll up to. No, and nothing against Miz, but like Miz shouldn't go out.
I have something against Miz, and I'll get to that in a minute because Raw was here in Cleveland.
Hall of Famer.
Raw was here in Cleveland, and I almost could have gotten like, pretty close to ringside for like $200 or something. And I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not going. I'll tell you why shortly. But
did Miz kick your dog or something?
No, I'll tell you why in a minute. Listen.
So anyway,
other thing about the Cross segment that I have to put over is Drew McIntyre saying tribal queef. The fact that these guys are getting more ability to free flow with their promos, I hear that the actual writing backstage has gone down considerably for a lot of top guys. They're kind of allowed to go out there and vamp a little bit if they're trusted backstage. So I think we're getting to see some of that, and some of it works great so far. I think they're letting the right guys do it so far, and you're getting a little bit of what AEW's been doing, which is guys, throwing in some real life digs and just fucking around, and I think having a little more fun with their characters. And I hope it leads to guys being able to be more the way that they envision their own characters as opposed to being so heavily scripted. Because let's be honest, like half the people in WWE, they read those fucking scripts and they do them verbatim the way that they want, and it's fucking terrible. It's like,
it's horrible. It reminds me of when I was in high school and we did drama, and like you were reading from the paper, and it was like, "Oh, art thou," just like the most dreadful shit.
Oh, you guys did it in full iambic pentameter, eh?
Oh,
I forget. British high school theater must be really just dreadful.
Guess what just happened on NXT?
What's that? Nikita Lyons did something?
I don't know who that is. But Santos is in a feud with that defenseman who used to play for the Rangers. And now they're in a loser leaves town gimmick.
You said 2 out of 3 things that were unfamiliar to me, which was you said something about NXT, something about hockey. Like I know who Santos Escobar is because he's dope, but everything else just totally lost me.
No,
you've got the Dolmia's Italian guy.
There's this Italian Guido stereotype characters named Tony D'Angelo, who is the name of a hockey player who is
wait, so you
probably
made an
racist.
Inside joke about hockey?
Yeah. But he's also racist, so I thought you would get it.
Roar of the crickets.
No. I can't hear back the audience. That's how this podcast StreamYard works.
I heard crickets coming from all the way up in Quebec.
He's named after a hockey player who was kicked off the Rangers because even though he's good, no one could stand him because he's so racist and like happy to be racist.
A tumbleweed came across my bed.
Wow, I agree with Meefloaf.
What are you doing with that tumbleweed, Meef?
Fucking it.
I hope you bought it dinner first. Oh, okay, you did it.
At least he just did it.
No,
told it like
I'm British. It's buying me breakfast.
Where'd you get a tumbleweed in England, London?
Your mom sent it to me.
I don't think that's true.
Wow. Other things from SmackDown that I kind of wanted to point out real quick. Baron Corbin needed to get his heat back from Pat McAfee, so obviously the best thing to do for him to get his heat back to a super duper over McAfee, like how over is that guy right now? Is to have him job to a dude from Paducah. which was hilarious to me. Like Ricochet, first of all, Ricochet under the hood is better.
Mhm.
I realize that I hate all of Ricochet's acting, not just his promos. I hate his facial expressions when he's not under the hood. When he's under the
thing with
hood,
the hood.
and he's over shaking his head and doing his rah fire up thing, like it fucking works. It works. I love Prince Puma. I fucking hate Ricochet.
At this point,
I never knew that about myself. I feel like I discovered something about myself.
I liked Ricochet. I liked Ricochet's like New Japan stuff. I mean, obviously, I wish he got more.
I thought he was solid there. He didn't do his acting wasn't terrible in New Japan.
He really fit in there. I don't think he had the right type of contract for them to commit to him. But yeah, given what we've seen of him in WWE, not even counting NXT, he was cool in NXT. He was like a very masturbatory superhero gimmick, which is, I guess it's wrestling. It's a video game. It's fun. But knowing what we've seen of him in WWE, I think the more we could do to forget, to not actually think about him when we watch him wrestle, the better. So I agree with the mask.
Yeah,
like all the cool stuff, but like, oh, maybe it is Dolph or a new person who just, I don't want to think about Trevor while I watch this great match.
He needs a gimmick, yes, because I feel like I'm watching Trevor trying to act like he's Ricochet when I watch him in there. And the spots were great. Like he did everything right. He made Corbin look better than Corbin's looked in years. Like they actually had a decent match, and I'm like, oh, like the moveset is dope. Like all the stuff he's doing is still all the stuff I've always liked, but man, I look at his face and how he's acting and his expressions and whatever, and I'm just like, this is so unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have an overbite?
And Corbin, by the way, is a solid hand in WWE land. Like he had a strong gimmick in NXT, but he's come up and done everything asked of him and fit into every single spot that he was put in.
Look, WWE. And McAfee wouldn't be over right now without him. McAfee's tried in the past.
He did kill Rey Mysterio Jr. though.
Yeah, he did. But that was just really a gross.
That was so good. That was the best thing they've ever done. How terrible it was just.
Yeah.
Shinsuke defeats Ludwig Kaiser or whatever the fuck his name is now, which was actually a
Gunther.
A good match. No, the one that was the Imperium guy before.
That was Gunther.
No, Gunther is
no.
Walter.
Yeah.
He was Imperium.
You're missing the point. He beat the other guy, Byron.
His voice piece, Byron.
He has a voice piece?
Yeah, the one half of the Imperium tag team that was always on NXT.
I think
the one that survived.
The one who is actually German.
Yeah. He's good, by the way. I always thought he was.
Yeah. What? No.
Was that what his name was before? I don't even fucking remember. But I've always thought he was a good wrestler, and they got rid of the other Italian dude. They got rid of the other one, and this is the one that they kept to be with Walter. Anyway, him and Shinsuke had a good match, so Shinsuke gets to face Walter Gunther, German, not fantastic.
I saw a funny meme about Shinsuke.
Marcel Bartel.
Yes,
that's the one that's still around.
I saw a funny meme that was basically just showing what Shinsuke was looking like when Triple H called him up and was like, "I'm ready for work rate Shinsuke back," and Shinsuke was like already
but you're feeling it, and that's kind of the reason why I'm pointing some of this stuff out, because it's like this is Triple H's WWE. It's like Shinsuke got a win and put himself in title contention.
Yeah.
In 2 short weeks from whatever, cartoon gimmick he was doing 3-4 weeks ago. You got a serious regular match out of Shinsuke. And I was like, oh, this is a breath of fresh air. I even like this NXT kid that they called up, who was doing well under Vince. He was doing fine with the German gimmick and this new version of Imperium. And Vince actually didn't completely screw that up, even though he changed all their names to make them racist German Nazi characters.
He tried to name them after specific historically renowned Nazis.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least he went to a remotely secret place. Like The only reason people knew is because they just Googled the name for a laugh and it came up with some obscure Wikipedia reference. So it's like, to be fair, if you're gonna, he did some deep hidden shit. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
He did.
Which we found he's done some deep hidden shit in financials as well.
It was a deep cut.
Well, apparently he's real good at deep hidden shit, including where he puts his penis. I liked a little bit that Sami Zayn, he's been doing this bloodline adjacent gimmick for a while, but I felt like, okay, they're giving it a little bit of different rub now, so they're actually going to do something with this storyline and not just stooge him out. I feel like they're going to actually push Sami Zayn forward with that storyline now. So then we get to the women's portion of SmackDown. The gauntlet matches were dreadful. And not dreadful so much as the work rate or anything, but it's just like, it felt like the time filler it was. I felt like Shayna Baszler was going to get to the end and be the winner. They just had her come out and win the last match. They kept Rodriguez strong or whatever. Like, I got everything that they did. Made perfect sense. Wasn't very entertaining. But I do like that Shayna Baszler is the one to kind of come out of this thing at the end. But here's my real question. So Ronda basically booked this whole Liv thing herself. But now, with that weird finish that they did at SummerSlam, which I actually liked, Liv is getting heat from the crowd. They were booing the shit out of her. They did not like her basically coming out as champ and saying that she survived all of Ronda's shit when, all this footage shows her tapping when Ronda is getting pinned. So, like, whatever goodwill they built with the Liv sympathy angle now is kind of gone. And it was this accidental heel moment that she had on SmackDown. And Sonya, I think they even rushed Sonya out. I think they sent Sonya out a little early to try to save it and get the heel heat back on the heels. But it was weird. It was like, man, you guys. And this is one of those things that I don't think that Triple H really booked. I think he's kind of letting this one go because it was working and it was there before he got there. And this was kind of Ronda's plan. And she's got this big dumb contract that he probably doesn't want to fuck with. So I feel like this is one of those things he's kind of kept his hands off. But now what do you do when you've kind of fucked up your babyface rub for Liv Morgan with the angle with Ronda? And Ronda's out for a while. I think, they got to give her some days down from her contract. So you're booking Baszler. Now, I love the Baszler thing, though, because if Baszler happens to win and then you get Ronda Baszler when she comes back, I think that's actually a very good program, a good look. I think Baszler's been underutilized for everything that all the time she's put in, and Triple H is a fan of hers as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the gauntlet thing she did for the Money in the Bank? And she was in the match, but you didn't see her for 20 whole minutes.
Yeah. Look, there's some people have to be protected. I think also the other benefit to Baszler in that program is then you could have Ronda join up with her in a heel turn or have them be adjacent to each other on the heel side. I think either way, if you get Ronda and Shayna into the sphere of each other, which is naturally where they should have always been, I get breaking them out. Shayna had a more standard trajectory to where she's gotten to. Ronda had the superstar trajectory to get where she is. Mm-hmm. But now they're both there. Like, why the fuck are we not putting them in the same sphere with each other and pretending like, they aren't good friends and that they didn't come up together under Josh Barnett, who got them both interested in doing this shit at all in the first place? Like, why are we pretending that? And Ronda's style, as we saw with Liv Morgan, only works with a few people. Like the girls who've been there forever doing it the traditional way aren't going to sell Ronda's style the right way. So why not get her going with Shayna? I think it would help. I think it would help both of them.
I think they should just let them go at it. Just full ball. Just MMA it. Sort of.
They will.
Bring back the Lions Den. Ken Shamrock.
I mean, I think that if you let Shayna and Ronda work a program together, I think they would actually, and that's always the way it is in the business. When the two friends actually go at it, they throw stiffer stuff. They work stiff, not but they don't potato each other. They come up with new stuff. That is where you get some of the most innovative stuff in wrestling. We get those feuds with two people who have genuinely been up and down the road together. And Ronda hasn't been up and down the road with anyone in WWE except Shayna Baszler. She's the only one. So why not let them have a shot?
Ronda Rousey's lawyers don't send a phone to someone else's lawyers.
What do I think about? Do I think Raquel is being misused? No, I don't think Raquel's being misused. I think Raquel's being I think she's being built still to a certain extent. They have to, and I think Nick Khan knows this more than Vince McMahon ever knew this. They have to protect their Latinx properties a certain way because there's going to be a time and a place where they desperately need them. They need to keep that demographic. And they have to do it a certain way. If they just put the belt on her or pushed her up the ladder too soon, they would Jinder Mahal it, I think, where at best she gets a good 2 or 3 month run, and then they can't do shit with her for years. They need
When's
her to
Black
be.
Panther out?
What's that?
When's Black Panther
out? December? Isn't it a December release, I think?
That might be a good time.
Well, look, it basically.
That's going to be a big Latin.
You also don't want to burn Raquel during Monday Night Football time. Like the ratings go down for wrestling overall, and it's not just on Monday nights. It's SmackDown goes down to wrestling interest in general drops during NFL season. It does every single year. I don't think you want to burn her out yet. I think you want to keep building her, keep her a top mid-card player until you can really push her maybe next spring. And she's a little green too with certain things. Like she's got to learn how to work with the speedy people. She's got to learn how to run the ropes a little bit more. The power spots are good. She knows how to sell. There's just
I mean, to be fair, one NFL game does take about 3 months to actually play out. So
whatever. At least our shit doesn't end in ties all the time.
That's the fun of it.
That's not fun. There's no such thing as a fun
You get
tie.
a single point. But that means you actually have to play to win.
You've out here trying to tell us how fun
I like footy. I like football, the real football. I do.
Footy ball.
I just don't like ties. You
should all support Leeds now, by the way, because half our team's American.
Which team is Ted Lasso based on?
Leeds.
I like that team.
It's not based on Leeds, but our manager's American and
Leeds.
He's very Ted Lasso. We were going to get relegated, and he decided the best way to do motivational speeches was to give Gandhi speeches,
verbatim. Quote the Zen one, huh?
Quote the guy who famously tricked people into letting him sleep with minors.
Oh, was that the team that? There was a soccer team that was all implicated with conducting business with like an underage French prostitute.
Oh no, that's Man City's got a left back who has been done for
No, this is the whole team, the whole football soccer team. I don't know. It's a European thing. I don't know. I can't keep up with you guys.
It's very European. All right, so let me tell you why I'm so happy I didn't go to Raw in Cleveland. Because they wheeled out some of our hometown favorites for so exciting matches. Like The Miz. Like Dolph Ziggler. Like Dana Brooke. And it was really funny because on commentary, they almost made the can't read, can't write, can't state joke because both Dolph and Dana went to Kent State, but luckily they did not. But those are not the Cleveland superheroes that I would like to see. I'd like to see Johnny Gargano. I'd like to see Wardlow, even though he's not WWE. I'm just saying. But
Johnny's enjoying being a father.
I don't disagree. And people are clamoring for him to come back and, Bray Wyatt to come back. And we'll get into that in a minute too. But
God, just let him die.
Like Raw started off okay. They're really poor Bailey. Jesus Christ. I hope she took a bunch of acting lessons while she was gone because they're putting her in 50 backstage segments an episode. They're doing like what MVP had to do for a while. Bailey's that person now, where it's just the Bailey show because they have to fill these 3 goddamn fucking hours. Like, bring back R-Truth. Throw a 24/7 match in there or something, man. You need, like, there's a reason why that dumb shit exists for Raw, because it is so dreadfully long. And it's like they keep having to do these repeat beats. I already feel like they've just killed the Bailey return already because they have to use her 50 times, you know? And it's just fucking, it's horrible.
Dakota Sky.
Yeah. So Bailey, Io, and Dakota Sky, which was funny. I liked her tripping up and then correcting herself and blaming it on the crowd. That was funny. Are gonna face off with Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka at Clash in the Meefland or whatever they're calling that.
Oh, Alexa Bliss is wrestling again.
Yeah. Well, did she ever actually?
Yeah. No, she wrestled in NXT.
Don't you ever start Alexa Bliss?
Splash.
I am 100% a fan of Alexa Bliss. I don't care if she can wrestle. I think she's a great personality. She's super fucking cute, and it works. She knows how to get over. I don't have any problem either with her being cooled right now. I think that she knows that there's a time and a place for her to have a run on top, and it's not necessary right now. It's just not. It's not the time. But keeping her in a program is good, and she doesn't have to do a ton of work, and she still pops the crowd a little bit. And of course, as we mentioned, Triple H's boy, Seth Rollins, defeats Dawkins, which Angelo Dawkins, I'm telling you, man, I expect that dude is going to be around for a long, long time. He's got kind of almost the Ron Simmons thing, that Ron was just like always great, always just murdering people, had everyone's respect, didn't give a fuck if he was at the top of a program or not, got a couple of runs here and there, but didn't matter because he was just always going to be fun. Like, Dawkins is the new version, the millennial version of that to me. Like, yeah, he's not the bruiser that, you know, Ron was or anything like that. And he's certainly not there's not the same culture of locker room leader kind of thing, but the dude is actually really, really, really fucking good. And with Seth in there, it just made him look even better. I was like, damn, this is an enjoyable match. This is the kind of shit like AEW marks. Like, I'm an AEW fan myself, but AEW marks are always talking about the wrestling, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, no, this was every bit as good as everything on AEW for the last 2 weeks. Meef, what happened? Did you turn into an alien?
Is he okay?
Oh,
Did he die?
The child is crying.
Oh, the baby is.
Oh no! Yeah, she's currently sitting up in her cot.
Are you?
That's
now,
adorable. That's the first baby crying we've ever had on MMM show. Besides
Casey used to be.
Yeah.
Jinx.
No, Casey's currently baby crying. That's why he's not doing the show.
Casey asked why he wasn't invited to the show, as if he wasn't invited. He's invited everyone.
Maybe you got to specifically invite him. Make him feel
special.
special.
Casey says he wonders why he wasn't invited. He means, why didn't you change the show to the Casey show and let it be about everything that he wanted it to be about? That's what he actually meant, right?
Let's do it. By the way, new Trick or Treat shirts are out by Candy Collective or whatever. I just made that name up. But new Sammy Kerr shirts are pretty awesome. Go get them.
Rebecca says, "Aw, little Meef. There's little Meef toes."
She's kicking off.
Would she be like a Meef biscuit, not a whole loaf?
Yes, she's a biscuit. Wait, no, biscuits aren't bread in.
Meef biscuit.
Oh my god! Don't start with biscuits, you fucking backwards.
He's gonna call us tossers again, or
it's a shit
or whatever
stone,
those words
as far
are.
as I can see. Like, bread's a serious subject, and now I'm a baker. It's even worse.
You're a baker, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up with the baker's dozen not being an actual dozen?
What, 13?
Yeah. Did you guys?
Because you make a spare. You make a spare.
It's because they give you the extra one that's day old, Byron.
That's true.
You make an extra one for, if there's any mistakes.
Are we finally getting to the turn of Dominic Mysterio?
Who?
Can this just fucking happen?
With his Eddie Guerrero mullet.
Oh my God!
I-
He's trying to be the new.
I mean, he's
Art Barr,
a
and
very
it's not
lucky
working.
lad, though. To be
Is
fair,
Triple H going to do anything with him? Like, there's already
I
a
think Rhea
roster.
Ripley's going to do something with him,
There's already a roster of like, oh, that was okay.
and then she yeah. The other thing is he's going to feel like Prince William.
Wow.
Oh,
Better than
So,
feeling like
If you
Prince
caught that
Albert.
news, I don't know if you caught that news over there. Did you catch that news over there?
what was
What's the news, Meef?
When he got his delivery from lovehoney.com.
What's in the delivery of Love Honey?
Well, apparently it was a strap on.
Okay. And
I'm just saying, it was a very big thing in the UK.
You know what Humpty Hump would say in America, Meef?
Yeah.
He would say, just grab them in the biscuits. But I guess that would probably mean something totally different over there, too.
Well, a biscuit is what you guys, I'm guessing, would call a cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah, so we cookies
Just
for us
grab 'em in
are
a
only
cookie.
those, like, you know, the milk chocolate with biscuit with chocolate bits in, or white chocolate bits in, or whatever. Whereas biscuits are a whole genre of, like a bourbon biscuit.
yeah, okay.
Okay, rich tea biscuits. They're biscuits.
Okay, see, and I agree with this, James, but
Yeah.
here's the question.
Yeah.
Can Dominic Mysterio be made to not be Yawn? And I think the way you do that is you have him feud with his dad. Like you finally do that thing.
It's going to happen eventually. It has to. Oh,
funny.
that's one way to get knighted. All right. Yeah, but like going back to like Shinsuke and Cross coming back and other talents like Io and Dakota Kai and Bailey coming off the IR with her own storyline.
Do you think there's no room for Dom?
I think Triple H is going to, I don't know, maybe, but like there's already a lot of top talent. Like Shinsuke was just some 24/7 whatever comedy fodder person who was paired up with the guy who can't play guitar, right? He's supposed to be a world-class talent. He's supposed to be in the top of the card, you know? And I'm not saying,
and I bet that he'll be back there within a year or so. Maybe not right at the very top because there's too many other people for it now. But
like
I think the Triple H sees him that way too.
The top of the card at WWE in the past like 3 months has been, you know, like the cupboards are bare. There's been a lot of openings and needed spots that needed filling. But now you're looking at things through Triple H's eyes, and you're looking at the roster, the talent that was there before they signed with WWE, and also with how Triple H used them. Like Ricochet should be at the top of the card. He should be getting maybe not winning.
But look,
What you're saying is this sushi now, not just baked beans in a tin.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. It is clear that WWE needs some top Latinx stars. Period.
Yeah.
Well, one could be coming their way soon.
Del Rio.
Dom has the lineage within the company. And he's already in the spot. They already moved him up too fast. And here's the thing. I think Triple H needs to NXT him, except on Raw. It's a fucking 3-hour show. Put Dom in a bunch of 14-minute double kick-out classics or whatever. Make him wrestle those hard NXT-style matches, which you're also starting to see more of on the show now, by the way. I think you go ahead and do it. You put him in a heel spot so it's okay that the crowd doesn't like him because as a babyface, look, James is like, he's not buying it. Like, it's a yawn. It's a yawn. I love Rey Mysterio as much as the next guy. I love Lucha Libre. I love my Latino performers. But at the same time, we all know Rey's green. Like, you can't put him up against a Taurus or a fucking, Bandito or like any other current Latin star. You can't put him up against them. Vikingo. Jesus Christ, any of them.
Oh, Triple H, if he really wanted to take over the wrestling world and he really wanted to shut down AEW because we all know AEW is taking over and they're going to beat WWE at the thing, they're going to win the thing. But if Triple H can sign Vikingo,
I don't know. Byron's on what you stoned.
What is the thing anyway? Come on. But if he signs Vikingo, it's over.
I think
No,
Triple H.
Bandito and Taurus as well.
I think Triple H might make some of those kind of moves in the future, but also I think you're more likely to see Vikingo and Taurus than a lot of the other guys, because even looking at Ricochet, it's like I would rather see Ricochet in AEW. I think Ricochet would fit in better there. There's more mid-sized guys there. Like Ricochet could go and do his thing and have his 20-minute classics.
Yeah.
Like Adam Cole. Can you imagine Adam Cole on the main roster at WWE? Yeah, he would have gotten the pop. He would have been over. But also, would you see him in the title picture on a regular basis for the heavyweight title? No.
No, it's too small.
You stand him next to Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, and you'll be like, yeah, Adam Cole's a fucking joke. And Ricochet is suffering from that too. Like Shinsuke at least is 6'5" or 6'4" or whatever the
To be
fuck
fair,
he is.
the
Shinsuke's
WWE
tall as fuck.
has had a minis division before, so
And I don't
Cole
dispute
could get a
that.
title shot there.
And look, and Rey Mysterio pulled it off. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but you know, I even think it's hard for Finn Balor, who's not a small guy.
But and I think Adam Cole is just as good, if not better, than anyone else on the WWE roster as a performer. But there is a legitimacy.
You can fight Microman, Kim Anita,
there is a legitimacy that you need to have with your act, and you know, it's just the fact of the matter. He would have to put on at least 20 pounds of muscle, if not more, if he's going to be legitimately competitive.
Well, and look, the history of
Roman Reigns, like
the history of the company is you're also fighting against that too. You're fighting against the Andre the Giants and the Hulk Hogan's and the Yokozunas and the Undertakers and even Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar's. You're talking about like literally Brock Lesnar, I feel like, is the largest human being I think I've ever met in my life. He's just fucking huge in real life. Adam Cole is smaller than me.
Let me ask you this then. How did the CM Punk Brock Lesnar matchup come off to you?
Fine. And again, I'm saying that there's times and places for it, but also, could you have seen CM Punk with like a 2-year run on the top? Like Daniel Bryan had his moment. I think guys can have their moments, but you know, for Ricochet, is he ever going to get that moment? No. Shinsuke hopefully will get that moment at some point in time after they break the belts back up. Yeah. They'll never let
Shinsuke
him
looks longer. You know, he's got the legs, so
he
looks
Shinsuke's tall. Shinsuke's a big dude.
6'3".
Shinsuke, he's in surfer shape. You know, like he could be in better shape, but he's in good shape.
He's also getting old.
Yeah, he's also broken down from, you know, what got him to the dance from his New Japan time. But he has a legitimacy with his moves. Like you could see him kick Brock's head off or knee his head off. Right. You know, he doesn't need to add 50 pounds of muscle.
Look, and James, I'll agree with you. Shawn Michaels, they did make him believable, but part of it was the whole mid card started to get elevated at a certain point in time with Bret Hart and Shawn and a few of those other guys. Even Triple H was not as big as some of the other guys, and he was the big DX guy. Billy Gunn was bigger than him, though. But I mean, a lot of that was because the mid card guys were getting elevated, and they weren't. Even The Rock at the time was not as muscular when he was coming up.
Oh, no,
he put on a lot.
He hasn't got abs even for most of his run. Apart from, let's say, towards the end, he wasn't like the most muscular, ridiculous.
Yeah, like Rock is probably more of a muscle freak now than he ever was then. I believe that's because of TRT, but whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's really interesting to see some of this stuff develop. I'm curious to see what happens. And lo and behold, Byron, we were just talking about this last week.
We were.
There was a match this week between Zeke and KO. The story will not die. It started before WrestleMania.
Well, maybe it will now.
I think it will now. I think this was Triple H saying, "Let's do this already, guys."
Well, speaking of like how Triple H is bringing back how he utilized guys in NXT to a much fuller potential. Like you have Kross showing up with his full gimmick, with Scarlett, with the sweet jacket that he wore when he was beating people up
without the
backstage
helmet
in NXT. Yeah, we don't need to bring that up.
We do.
We
only talk about the dress. We don't talk about the helmet.
Unless we do get Kross on the show. I texted him Friday night and I was like, "Hey, so
now he's
scheduling that interview."
See if you
I'm
can grab
pretty
the helmet
sure-
and sell it.
I'm
Haven't
pretty
heard
sure
back.
that Cross is storing the helmet and the dress in the briefcase.
Yeah.
I think that's how that's gonna stay.
But you see all that, but then also like this KO moment with Zeke where he apron bombed him and stretchered him. That is a very specific NXT moment, and we've seen so many apron bombs since then. KO was doing them when he came up, and they were just moves. And this was a very distinct, like this is an NXT moment that made Kevin Owens. And now they did it again as soon as Kevin Owens comes out under Triple H's regime, and it's like if anything, it's a subliminal switch. KO's behavior differently. He does that move, stretches the guy. We're like, this is the prize fighter KO. He's back.
Well, and they ran that huge package at SummerSlam. Like, it's very intentional. Triple H is telling you, like, dude, KO held this company on his back for a while. I like the guy. He's going to be one of my guys. Like, it's really clear. And, you know, maybe we'll get the Wanderer back from this.
Do you know what the saddest thing is that William Regal has signed with AEW?
Look, there's a whole bunch of guys, and this was my whole point when I was reaching out to Cross. Is like, bro, you're the only one. Everyone else went and foolishly signed those contracts. You're the only one that said, I'm going to take all this fucking indie money, bide my time, see how things pan out. And, you know, I don't know that it was all intentional, but accidentally played his cards exactly fucking right.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, there's a whole bunch of dudes sitting over at AEW right now looking at Tony Khan a different way.
Yeah, but they still have a 5-year contract making good money. And those guys, you know, Malachi Black, Swerve, Keith Lee, specifically, they're doing well. And I saw something how Malachi Black has been fighting back issues. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
that's
get it.
why
And
he's
they've
still
been
wrestling.
using him less. I get it.
But he's still running a stable and getting a lot of quality. His stable's getting a lot of quality TV time. But yeah, I mean, it's great in general that if you want to be a pro wrestler on TV, you now have 2 places to work.
Well, you always did, but also, like, you can't tell me that those guys wouldn't want to see what their WWE push would have been like under Triple H when Triple H is trying to show that what he did at NXT meant something.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
those guys are hating it. There's no way that they're not hating it.
I don't know if they're hating it, but it's definitely...
Dude, when they see Robert Roode 2 months from now get a push on top as the only fucking NXT guy that Triple H could find that day because they're all in AEW, they're going to be fucking pissed.
Is he going to sign Robert Roode back?
I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm just saying, like, the potential is like...
No, I get it. But also it's 5 years and they're already like a year or whatever into their contracts. It's like... I think they can.
You want AEW to be better than it is, Byron. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I think they're making good money for 5 years, and they can still go back and work for WWE.
I think with Triple H running the creative of WWE, depending on what Nick Khan does, you could see the best stuff out of WWE since Attitude Era. No,
Maybe.
since Monday Night Wars era.
I mean, when the competition was over and it got super stale. Yeah. I mean, but also you're going to see something that's just generally more consistent, generally utilizing talents for what they're good at. Like, you don't need to see groundbreaking stuff for it to be a lot better than it was.
Right. All right, so let's get to this Dexter Loomis thing real quick, and then I can get off of WWE altogether, and I can talk about your AEW stuff. So this was interesting. There was this car crash behind a KO backstage moment that looked kind of real. They kind of ignored it, and it was like, oh, did somebody just fuck up? Did somebody come in on some pills or drinking some? Did Jeff Hardy show up to try to get a job back? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then there's another shot with Bailey and the girls, I think, where there's some cops kind of scurrying around in the background, and they don't really acknowledge a whole lot of stuff, but it's like, okay, the cops are investigating this car crash thing or whatever, and it looks like kind of a shoot or what the fuck happened there, but it was not like a big deal. Then, of course, at the end of the AJ Miz match, of the night, and they were fine, like they both wrestled fine. It just was like, really, this is what Cleveland gets as a headliner? with all this cool, fun shit going on.
Did you see the Styles Clash from the week before? That was fun.
But so then there's this guy getting dragged out in the crowd, and it's not a shot on it. They don't send the cameras over to it. I think the one fuck up was that AJ waited and didn't just keep doing his thing, and he looked over his shoulder.
Thing where he was looking around, wasn't he?
Yeah, and AJ, they shouldn't have had AJ do that. It basically gave it away that it is definitely a work. It was absolutely Dexter Loomis. There's no way Sam Shaw is showing up there and actually being a psychotic fool. It probably is related to the car crash thing. They'll hopefully do some very cool stalkery gimmick for him on the big show. And again, like I said, Raw's a goddamn 3-hour show. There's certainly plenty of time for creepy Dexter Loomis to be in the background of a million things to make something happen for the angle.
Remember when they did a whole takeover and Loomis was the host and he didn't say a single word?
It was great.
I loved it.
Which is also, by the way, hilarious because the guy can cut promos. Like if you see any of his indie stuff. Yeah. All right, here's the question of the night. Read it, Byron. Read Rebecca's question. Read it. Can you read it?
Rebecca Locke, if you really think that the WWE product will be that good, do you really think AEW will be able to hang? I think AEW is not on the level of WWE. I think there's technicalities in the ratings where they're competing, but I don't think it's a competitive product. I think AEW will be forced to iron is going to sharpen iron, I think is
maybe
the best way for me to put it.
I worry that they're not going as head to head as during the Monday Night Wars, because that really did make WCW do some things that were exciting for fans. Were they the best things for business? Maybe not some in the long run, but and their locker room certainly got a little out of control, which is not really the case at AEW. But here's the thing with AEW to me. AEW versus WWE a month ago. There were things that AEW was 100% doing better than WWE. Like, I don't know, matches. Like they had some boring cliche stuff, but let's be honest. Like if you're there to watch work rate and you want to see exciting performers get a chance to perform with their in-ring skills and the things that they can do, AEW was and maybe still is the superior product. But you're already seeing Triple H doing more of the NXT style long matches. They're not long matches to drag on for TV. They're long matches to be exciting and where you don't know how the finish is going to go when they start getting to the kickouts, like where you feel like anybody could win, where you feel like there's an actual competition going on. That is already starting to happen at WWE. If WWE starts getting that stuff right, if they start pushing their performers in that realm and with a roster that's 40% people who have come through NXT right now, they can do that. And they can bring along the people who didn't go through NXT and show them a little bit of that love. Plus, they do have guys like Dolph Ziggler who obviously can hang with that, and Seth Rollins who and I think Roman can even hang with that. I think Roman's trying to do that style a lot of times anyway. He's just working with the bigger guys, so they have to go a lot slower, and he's got to go a little slower at times. But I think that if you get WWE with how they can tell long-form stories, how they do their packages better, how they introduce storylines, how they make stars and characters, combined with the NXT style of matches when appropriate, AEW's in trouble. AEW is in trouble with Triple H leading things, in my opinion.
I don't think there's one. I think there is a 1 and a 2, and I don't. And I saw it might have been a CM Punk quote where someone asked him about AEW competing, and I think it might have been someone else, but he was very specific when he's like, I want AEW to succeed as a viable business where wrestlers can work. I'm not talking about beating WWE.
And I get that, but here's the thing. I look back to the WCW versus WWE thing. WCW had a certain level of credibility where on occasion, not all the time, but on occasion, and for certain individuals, they were still able to make stars that were as big as WWE at the time. And then to a point where they were actually able to be bigger than WWE at the time. A lot of the talent was established stars. Now, AEW has plenty of established stars, but there are very few in AEW that feel like they are on the same level as the WWE stars. Like, can you tell me that Orange Cassidy is on the same level as a WWE star? Well, he could go over there and be huge.
I mean, I think he could, but I think they're too. I think it's just you can't even compare WWE now to WWE during the wars. They've positioned themselves.
But right now, I'm saying.
But I'm saying WWE.
There's a few guys I could see going over. I could see MJF going over, but can you see MJF holding the big belt?
No, but that's why it's. I mean, maybe with Triple H, I think.
I could see Wardlow going over, but what is Wardlow? Wardlow's as good as Braun in NXT. He's Braun Breaker.
Oh, that Braun! I keep seeing whenever I see him, I keep wondering when EC3 came back. But no, WWE is a globally reaching entertainment broadcast company that has a budget and production value that cannot be matched by almost anyone except the Super Bowl. They're competing with the Super Bowl.
Correct.
So how is AEW
that's what I'm saying. So this, but that's what I'm saying. So the whole
AEW narrative stupid.
There's no point to comparing AEW. Like, okay, so like if you want to wrestle, you go to AEW, and if you want to be a soap opera actor, you go to WWE. Like that's out the window now, But like you can still be an employed and successful wrestler in AEW. I think also AEW.
I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that at all.
Also, like they're not getting everything right. They're still sort of new. They're still new, but they also they make adjustments, and maybe they shouldn't have to be making adjustments after getting called out. Like finally, Tony Khan expanded the talent relations and all of that. Finally, he did something like that, and I think he'll get pushed into making decisions that are beneficial. And so that's why I think that this Triple H coming in will help push AEW in a way, because AEW had a very significant advantage for a demographic and for a type of show.
All right. Well, you brought it up, so I'm going to use it as evidence against you. I happen to have in my hands Tony Khan's press release about their promotions.
Okay.
That Tony sent to me to make himself feel better when we talked about it on the show. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. AEW CEO GM, head of creative Tony Khan announced, I love how he gives himself 20 titles. Like Triple H is just the EVP of talent, and then he does 20 jobs. Like, can't you just give yourself one title and do 20 jobs? Blah, blah, blah. Promotions of key staff members, including Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone. In addition, Madison Rayne will join as a coach in the women's division. Here's my issue. We see Sanjay Dutt is now a vice president. He's production and creative coordination. Basically, Sanjay is moving up the ladder. QT Marshall is vice president now of show and creative coordination. So Pat Buck is president of talent development. And here's my problem. It's great. These are guys who are in the business. And I was thinking about this the other day. Like, look, Triple H taking full creative control at WWE. There hasn't been a lot of times when one of the boys was really running a company other than Jeff Jarrett at Impact. TNA. It was one of the few times one of the boys was running the company, and you see how that went. And he had
Kevin Nash in WCW.
Well, but again,
he got the book. He
got the book, but also he still wasn't running the company. Like there were still constraints. There were more constraints on him than are on Triple H right now.
Yeah, Kevin Nash wasn't telling Hogan when he had to take a pin.
And here's the thing.
Everybody else.
We're always saying, I'm always saying at least, AEW needs fucking writers. They need a creative room.
Yeah.
As much as the WWE writers room takes shit, at the same time, as you can see from Triple H, NXT, and now on the Big Book, those writers are also working with what they're given. And some of Vince's direction and Johnny Ace and all those fucking cronies, their direction and their ideas were shit, and the creative team was forced to write those. We've even heard some of this stuff from Krista Joseph and guys who have been in those rooms. It's like Vince says you do it, you just fucking do it. And then you start pitching.
He gives you the outline of the character and where he wants to go.
Yeah. And then you start pitching to that too. And so here's the problem. Listen to these roles again. Sanjay Dutt, Vice President of Production and Creative Coordination. In this role, he will coordinate communication of AEW storylines, liaise between post-production and key staff to maintain content workflow. Not a writer, but yet basically in charge of a lot of creative stuff here. But also that also means that Sanjay is now one of the people Tony will trust to pitch him angles. QT Marshall has been promoted to Vice President of Show and Creative Coordination. He'll help manage show elements, including planning programs and storylines. Character development, overseeing extras, live event logistic coordination. Basically, QT Marshall is in charge of ring crew and part of the book. These are not writers. This is Sanjay Dutt and fucking QT Marshall.
No, the whole thing is not the creative team. It's the talent relations, it's coordination, it's management. It's
right.
Not,
so all your key promotions, once again, are not in the creative department.
But it wasn't a response to a creative issue. It was a response to finally so many reports of wrestlers saying they lost touch or things went cold between them and Tony and this.
Because they don't have fucking writers.
So
what I'm saying is it was the wrong way to address it. I'm not saying Sanjay and QT are bad dudes. I'm saying that, so what? So now the guys have somebody else to bitch to. They're going to keep bitching because they don't have fucking stories. They're not getting made into superstars like they would in the WWE. They're not being made into stars. They're not being groomed. They're not given packages. They're not giving shit that makes sense. They're asked to go out there and act like it's a sports thing where somebody just threw them in a one-on-one match. And it's about as exciting as going down to my local ballpark and watching two guys who just met each other hoop it up against each other. That's the equivalent of the storytelling for 60% of the fucking storylines. And I'm not saying it's completely null and void over there. I'm not saying they don't have some good storylines. AEW has some great storylines. But for the majority of the roster, it is non-existent. Over at WWE, every single one of those superstars has somebody writing for them, somebody that understands their character, that understands where they're going, understands if they're on hold for a little while, if they're being cooled, understands where they might be going over the next 3 months, can tell them if they're going to be at the next pay-per-view more than fucking 4 weeks in advance, typically. This is the shit that AEW isn't doing.
I mean, WWE has the list.
Quite interesting.
WWE has a list of talent that doesn't know what's going on as well. But but my point to AEW and Tony Khan is
and I know who that talent is, by the way, Byron. It's Dana Brooke.
They are
rightfully so.
But Tony Khan has been making adjustments as he goes, and and maybe he makes wrong decisions or doesn't, but I feel like if Triple H comes in and makes a consistent product that has a good work rate, it starts bringing back that NXT appeal, which is it's a whole audience that got abandoned and AEW picked up. It'll force Tony Khan to move in a direction and correct, which he has done in some ways. In some ways he hasn't, but hopefully it pushes him to do stuff like he's owning and running a Ring of Honor now. Like, how is he going to write both shows? He's already way, way overwhelmed. He needs a creative overhaul so he can implement.
But will he do it?
But that's my point. Is this is something like,
and here's the thing,
reactionary, and I feel like this could be
right.
But it's up to him. It's not up to me. I enjoy the show. I was a WCW.
I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. I'm saying that the problems that he's addressing, he's doing a disservice in how he's addressing them. Look at Ring of Honor. Look at this last pay-per-view. Part of the reason why it worked was because Ring of Honor existed before Tony. Tony starting from scratch and doing things the Tony way is fine to a certain extent. But Ring of Honor, as a product, already knows how to tell its stories. Those announcers knew how to do it. They knew how to do the Ring of Honor style. I understood the Ring of Honor pay-per-view more than I understand Weekly Dynamite. As a fucking
he's
person who
reactionary,
knows
not
the
proactive.
business.
I don't know.
A lot of his stuff is he's doing on the fly, and he's reacting to things. One thing I saw this week, which is quite interesting, was this girl was kind of going, "Oh, this is why I hate all wrestling fans." But the post this guy made actually made sense. So he was saying about AEW, the problem being is that basically you got Mance Warner versus Jon Moxley for the title. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I vaguely, because I don't really watch much wrestling, I vaguely have an idea who Mance Warner is, but this guy was going on this big rant about basically the problem with AEW is this is what they keep on doing. They'll bring somebody in from the indies, and he's like, give me a reason, put a promo together, whatever. Give me a reason to give a fuck as to why this guy is fighting Jon Moxley.
Yeah, they
or just squash him, one or the other.
And they're just doing cold. They're just coming cold and go, yeah, title match. It's like, well, yeah, but who is this guy? Like, there's nothing about him.
But that's part of Moxley's his run is he wants to fight whoever he wants to fight. He's gonna win.
But the company needs to put something together to go, this is Mance Warner, this is why it means blah blah blah, and they just don't. They just don't. Oh, everybody should be a mark like Tony Cocaine Khan, and just like love it and just be like all over it. And it's like some people just don't have time to watch 60 hours wrestling.
Yeah, but
watch these other companies, because I'm not being funny. Like, some companies you just don't want to watch.
But something that I read recently, a point of view, and it referenced analytics and numbers and stuff that I couldn't verify, so I don't want to bring that up as gospel. But AEW, from this point of view, from this point that was brought up, understands they're dealing with a more hardcore sort of niche or smaller audience. They do a little under 1 million.
Yeah, but that's great. But you want to bring people in,
so they're catering to those numbers, and they have seen, and I don't know if this is true or not, but this would rationalize why they do more matches and less promos. They have seen people change the channel more during promos, so they try. I could see if that were true.
No. I'm not saying do the promo on the show, but I mean, you want a video package.
So yeah, I mean, sure, explain who Mance Warner is more, but then also, I think a lot of people who are AEW fans have seen Mance Warner wrestle before, and they understand.
But I know, but here's the thing.
But like you also bring up that WWE makes all these great superstars. I don't give a shit about almost all of them.
I get that too, and I don't disagree with that, and that's partly because yes, they're writing this stuff, and they know how to shove it down your throat a certain way without you turning the channel, but some of what they're doing it with is kind of like whatever. I get that. I'm not disputing that part of it at all, and that is still my biggest issue with WWE. And I do tend to get more excited for AEW because I like the performers there more. I like the potential that they have there more. So I do still get more excited about their product, but also I get pissed about the product too, because it's like, I am the smart fan, but when you're going to treat some of your belts like the old territory days, and you're going to send Pac off or Thunder Rosa off, and they're going to wrestle in foreign country, like you don't have somebody beat your fucking champion on foreign soil. I don't care if it's a non-title match. That's nonsensical. And then you don't even really explain to me who this person is that beat your fucking champion, only that she's going to be on TV this week and I'm now supposed to care. No, I'm pissed because you just made your champion that I like, that you got me invested in with a couple of good storylines. You made them look stupid. You made them look foolish by having them job in some other country or letting them job in some other country. Like, tell them, no, we're going to go to a time limit, draw or something, and then she gets a title shot. There's a million ways you can handle that. They did it in the territories for 10 million fucking years. I just watched that Lex Luger thing where early in his career he was the Southern States champion or whatever, and he got a chance to fight Flair, and they went to a 60-minute draw. Okay, that makes sense. You keep your local champion strong, you bring in the big national guy, you have him do a bunch of work with this kid who's not ready for it, but at the same time, you don't put the fucking kid over. You don't put over some Japanese talent that your audience doesn't. I am their fucking audience. I'm a smart audience, and I watch some Japanese wrestling. I know who some of these people are. But even me, a guy who watches 12 fucking hours of wrestling a week, I'm not going to run to the internet every time you say somebody's a fucking star from some other place. You need to show me if they're going to be in your promotion wrestling your champion. It is your responsibility to tell me that this person is worth my fucking goddamn time. And Tony Khan doesn't do that shit. And as a smart wrestling fan, it pisses me the fuck off. And I think I have every goddamn right to be mad at how Tony Khan is treating the stars that he's gotten me invested in with some good storylines. He has me invested with the Thunder Rosa from what they did with Britt Baker. But this dumb fuck has her jobbing in another fucking country, then brings that chick on TV to have a competitive match that wasn't even that great. And they try to hype it up in the middle of the match. It's like, it's already too late, bro. You're ruining the champion that I fucking love. And he's doing it with Moxley sometimes too. And he's doing it with all these guys. Like, what the fuck is going on? You've got this huge, great roster. Let the best people on this fucking roster fight it out for these goddamn belts. Make some goddamn entertaining television. Tell me a fucking story. Make me care about these people. And make it count. Everything doesn't have to be cool. And just cool is not a storyline. Just cool doesn't help your performers. We know half of that locker room. We know those people. I want him to do right by them. That's my issue.
Yeah, well, he's doing it his way. I think that with the Mox thing, Mox is wanting to do his matches, and Tony's letting Mox do what he wants and put on good matches. And
Meef turned into a robot.
Yeah. But I mean, with the Miyu Yamashita thing, she got a dark match, impressed, and Tony wanted to give her a title shot. He thought that would be a good match, and it was a good match.
In Japan, it was a good match.
Unfortunately,
Meefloaf, make it stop! Meefloaf, make it stop!
You're killing me, dude.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, I forgot I could do that.
So, unfortunately...
Are you trying to talk, Meefloaf? It sounds terrible. We're muting you, Meef, because it sounds like you died in a electro storm or something.
Yeah, so...
I don't know what happened. I get what you're saying, though.
Anyway,
and again...
I didn't say anything yet.
I'm just saying in general, I get what you're saying.
It's just, I think the thing that killed... I mean, I think two points to make. I think what killed the Dynamite match was the Dynamite match format, which is it sucks now, and it kills it. Like you take a big match and you just kind of run it through a commercial break or two, and it ruins the flow of an actual match. And the other match was on a pay-per-view. It was a tournament match where the wins and losses mattered, and you got to see an actual full match with the full flow, and you got to
I think both companies have been suffering that too, and they should all go back to kind of how NXT was doing it.
Those promotions that we were talking about earlier should be affecting this type of bring someone in and show who they are when they come in. Now sometimes you have someone coming in. I think Mance Warner, I don't know if he gets a big package just to lose against Mox. I think the announcers talking about him should be enough, because like in all fairness to him, he's not like the big star like Miyu Shimi, whatever. I can't talk. Yamashita. She's like the ace of TJPW coming over. We should know that. We should know that there is a chance that she could beat Thunder for the belt, and then we could see some more fallout from that, however small. Mance Warner isn't going to beat John Moxley, but those guys should be coordinating more with those segments or with those talents, and with making sure those talents are represented in those segments while Tony is doing that. Like, I want to have a cool match. And his idea was, let's have the title shot make sense with Yamashita and Thunder. Let's have Yamashita get the win. Like it's a very cliche wrestling thing.
I know. I mean, look, you know me. In WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA, doesn't matter where it is. I hate the title eliminator with the champion thing. Like,
Yeah,
you should never be wrestling the champion to get a shot at the champion. There's no other sport where that shit happens. That makes no fucking sense. I don't know when this became a thing in wrestling. That's my other part of the problem is like, look, I would have been happier if Thunder Rosa had gone over there. Yamashita wins, she drops the belt to her, then Yamashita comes back and she wins it back from her.
That would have
been
cool.
fine with that.
That would have been cool. Yeah, the like beat the champ to
try to beat the champ and then lose to the champ. Like WWE does it all the time.
Overplayed. Yeah, there was a whole
and the
thing
fact that
the
AEW has done it a few times too. I'm like, that's the one thing from WWE that you guys should not do.
Yeah, they got to run away with it. There was a
cliche. You want to follow the UFC
division
model, that doesn't happen. There's no such thing as a title eliminator that involves the actual champion. A title eliminator is the number 1 and number 2 contender fighting each other. That's what an actual title eliminator is. Like, both of these guys are ready. They're both real close in records or whatever. This one guy is maybe, some guy in an office said he was better than the other guy by this much. So we got to just let them fight to see who's the one who actually challenges the champion. That's the definition of a title eliminator in boxing, like regular Greco style wrestling or whatever, MMA, every other combat sport. That's the definition of a title eliminator. Not, hey, if you can beat the champ, we'll let you fight the champ. The fuck? No, the champ goes out there and fights. The belt's on the line, goddammit. You want me to consider this like a real sport? Anyway,
it's shortcut storytelling. Let
me talk about a couple of the actual things that actually happened at Dynamite, because maybe this will illustrate some of what we're both talking about. Jay Lethal defeats Orange Cassidy. I like this. There's fun and shenanigans and also wrestling. And I can guarantee you Sanjay Dutt had a lot to do with this, and I can guarantee you with Sanjay Dutt's new promotion that Jay Lethal is probably going to get the rub.
Well, they had to get him the win so he could job out to Wardlow.
Yeah, Wardlow accepts the challenge for Battle of the Belts, but I like that Jay Lethal is willing to do that, and hopefully, I think Wardlow working with a guy like Jay Lethal is exactly what Wardlow needs. It's like Wardlow does need to learn how to do the PWG style, basically. He needs to learn the Ring of Honor style, the pop the crowd kind of matches. Jay Lethal is a great first crack at that for him. What was the SoCal group with Frankie Kazarian?
SoCal SCU.
SCU, yeah. Like they were kind of those guys for the first year and a half of AEW. Like, I think it's great now if you have Jay Lethal to hopefully be one of those kind of guys where you can always propel him into something and it'll make sense. But at the same time, the rest of the time, this is exactly what he should be doing. Working your top mid-card guys, giving them some rounds, getting some shit under their belt. Adam Cole, Red Dragon, and the Bucks are united as Undisputed Elite, which is hilarious because they even promoted the t-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees right before the segment where they fucking break up.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, it was obvious they were going to do that.
I want to meet every single person that ran out and bought the t-shirt right then during the segment. And then afterwards just like, oh.
What a swerve. What a swerve.
way to clear out that old merch, Tony. Love it.
You had to have known that was coming. Like, of course
they telegraphed the shit out of it last week with the real awkward Bucks hangman thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, I don't have any problem with it. Hopefully Red Dragon, is back in the mix a little bit more. Like, these are all good wrestlers. Adam Cole's a good actual character for wrestling. The other four are all dreadful on the mic, including the Young Bucks. Like, I like their promos because they're kind of fun. They found a style that works for them, and God bless them for doing it, because otherwise I'd be really mad. Like, but they're not good. Like, Adam Cole is good on the mic. Adam Cole knows how to cut a promo. The Young Bucks do not, but it's fine. I'm not dissing them at all. I am 100% fine with what the Young Bucks do. They entertain the shit out of me. I'm just never going to say that like they're a hot ticket promo ever. They're not.
No, I love their character work when them and Kenny discovered cocaine for like 6 months.
Yeah.
That was fun character work.
Good stuff. Mox doesn't care if he gets a Wheeler or Jericho.
I didn't like that promo.
When he steps steps in. The thing he's trying to do is send someone home in an ambulance. I thought it was fine character building for Moxley. Like, at least somebody's getting a chance to try to build their character. Again, I think the problem with a promo like that is all of those things that Mox is saying are fine. They should all be in the promo, but also somebody should have refined that a little bit for him. You know, when Eddie Kingston does it, it's great. When Mox does it, it's all right.
Kingston also has been really getting someone has to be working with him, because he's been really getting formatting down, structure down with what he does.
Nope, he's doing it himself.
Well, he's doing really well. I mean, it's not like he's reading a script.
You know what he's doing? He's
working.
Talking himself into an agenting job for the rest of his life.
It's
Eddie
good.
Kingston knows the fucking business. I think Eddie Kingston is just having one of those years where, sadly for him, his body is pretty much gone, but his brain finally caught up to what wrestling is. Eddie Kingston is one of those guys who's having that, oh, fuck, I get it now moments in life.
Yeah.
It's just all coming together. And you know what? Eddie's one of the guys that should be helping to write the show. I don't know if he has the credibility with the boys at that promotion, but maybe he can go to Impact or something. Well, probably not Impact, but maybe he can go somewhere else. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, this is the guy that was never the top of the program except for these few things that he's done with Jericho here. But absolutely should be around the business forever. He should be an agent. He should be on the booking committees. He should be teaching younger talent how to cut promos, how to make things make sense in the ring, especially. Like, he is credible to me as somebody who could beat anybody right now because of the ring psychology that Eddie Kingston has. But anyway, let's get on to some other stuff. Jungle Boys, speaking of car crashes backstage, Jungle Boys attempted vehicular homicide on Christian Cage backstage was kind of interesting and odd, but seemed like a real stunt and done by him and also dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what I think about that.
It was quick, effective, and to the point and over. So, like,
but also the place wasn't really totally cleared out. Like, a lot of things could have gone very wrong there. I like.
Well, I don't know about the safety.
Attitude Era WWE used to do shit like this too, but it was in like a very cleared out parking garage with stone walls on either side, and like very little chance somebody was going to get fucked up. Anyway, they survived, so no harm, no foul this time. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter finally going to win over Thunderstorm. I'll talk more about
great match
that later. That
Love
match was okay, but I want to talk more about the match on Rampage. The sandbagging since 2004.
Oh, wait, the shirt, did I watch Rampage? No, they had the tag team match on Dynamite.
The shirt was on Dynamite. No, I'm saying I want to talk about the Hayter match on.
Was it Battle of the Belts?
Oh, Battle of the Belts is what.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to talk about. Look, the shirt was phenomenal. I love that it's an angle. There's all sorts of people pissed about it. They're never going to actually release the shirt. I think Tony's kind of like, maybe we shouldn't push this thing. It's unfortunate. I liked them making a joke out of it. I thought they should have kept going with it. And that's the thing. If it was WWE and they had made the decision that they were going to, take some kayfabe shit that way, some shoot shit to kayfabe, they would have pushed the shit out of it. It would have been the t-shirt. They would have gone with it for a month and a half. I think that Tony's going to bail on it. I think that he got the cold feet on it. He got Maggie's drawers.
It's a shame. You have Britt showing up with literal sandbags. Okay, now you turned it into a visual gag. Like, now you own it.
Yeah, you just keep owning it. Like, I don't see the point in dropping it. I know fans are all touchy about it and blah 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 blah, sensitive millennial bullshit, whatever. It's fucking funny, people. It's funny, but maybe I think it's funny because I don't think that Thunder Rosa is a sandbagger. Like, that's why it's funny. Like, you marks are marks, but Tony's crowd is too sensitive, so maybe this doesn't get over.
I've seen a few people complain about it. A lot of people complain about too many inside comments or references on the shirts and angles, and it's like, hold on, 2 weeks ago all you were saying was sandbagging and how Triple H about how Thunder is eating up all of her opponents for her whole career. Like, you're talking about all this like backstage stuff already, which none of it was true, but like all of a sudden, like, it's just people just they want to be against something, and they'll say whatever it is that puts them
and
on
the
that
people
side.
who are against are more vocal, but I'm trying to be vocal about. I like the sandbagging shirt. I will buy the shirt if you actually put it in the AEW shop.
It was funny.
Okay? It's funny. It's actually a good design too. Like it actually looks cool. Like I would wear that shirt. The one I don't want to wear, the one where you plaster your star's face all over the shirt. Like I'm not the guy that's going to walk around with somebody else's face. I'm talking about all the talent, any talent.
Yeah.
Like I have a Brock Lesnar shirt, but it says Suplex City. You know, I have this Kross shirt. Do you see Kross's thighs on here anywhere? No,
that's the next one.
I don't want that shirt. That's not the shirt I like. I like the shirts that are just a thing or a logo or, you know, like I want people to look at it who don't necessarily know, who aren't smart, who look at it and be like, oh, that's a cool shirt. Who's that from? Or what's that shirt about? Like, yeah, I want to advertise your thing, but also I don't want to be telegraphing like I'm not the guy who's going to wear whatever, you know, somebody's face on my chest. Like I'd rather wear your Seth Rollins logo, your SR cool thing than the one with Seth curb stomping the logo.
Like wrestling shirts, it's a weird thing. Like, is this going to be a shirt I could wear outside of a wrestling show?
Correct.
Or is this the newly released Vince is like, I have huge balls, whatever shirt.
Right. The sandbagging shirt I would wear anywhere because people would be like, really? You're sandbagging it? What? What is that? What is that about? Like that's fun.
It's an attitude. It's a vibe.
Yeah. It's like it's the you know, it's almost an Orange Cassidy thing. It's a whatever.
Yeah. You just have a bunch of nerds on the internet who don't know how to vibe, and they get upset about that shirt.
I'm going to fly through these. Taz says Team Taz is done, Byron. Told you.
I don't know if I believe that.
Hobbs destroys who? Ren Jones. I love it. Right time for a squash.
Yeah.
We don't have enough of those. That was perfect. We talked about it last week, and then they actually did it. Love it.
And then they come out, and Ricky tries to get revenge, but he can't. Like, they're setting it up perfectly. Ricky is the underdog babyface that you root for.
Yes. Darby tats himself with the coffin drops on Brody King. I want you to know that you asked for this match. Yes. Brody King did ask for the match, which is dumb storytelling. Stupid. I love these two guys facing off. I love that it's going to end with this coffin match. I think all of that is right. I think very simply the fact that Brody King called for it was wrong.
Well, at the least, didn't they announce the match before they ran promos for it, right?
No, but there was all the stuff at Comic-Con, whatever. But the correct version of the storytelling would be, okay, yeah, after Brody King smashes Darby at Comic-Con or some, you know, worked kayfabe shit out in the real world, then Darby should be the one coming on TV in the next episode and saying, no, fuck that. That's some bullshit. I bet you anything you can't take me in my match, the fucking coffin match, whatever. And then Brody should be on this week. They did it backwards. Brody's like, yeah, I smashed your little tiny ass. So now I'm going to do it in another match because I'm mad at you, even though I've gotten over on you twice in a row now. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's bad storytelling. It was an error in judgment.
I think you could definitely go. I think you can go both ways, but I think if Brody is calling the match out, then it needs to be explained better because I could definitely see where Darby just isn't getting put away, and so then
but he didn't say that. You keep coming back, you little fucker. I'm going to end you once and for all. No, it's not the way it played out.
Which is that, and it would be so easy to use that because that's
100%. 100%. And Brody's character is going well, but this is a slight misstep these 2 weeks with what they're doing to promote it. Christian Cage defeats Matt Hardy. 23-year rivalry. Little Jungle Boy run in with a Christian as a pussy t-shirt. I can't believe they're getting away with it, but more power to them.
You see the sign in the audience? I played this match on No Mercy.
It's amazing.
Like, okay, Christian Cage and Matt Hardy, they know what they're doing. They're going to put together a match that's good, and they're going to get the fans invested the best they can because they're pros and they've been doing it for so long. But I mean, I didn't look at the screen once during it. Like, I didn't care. Yeah,
I mean, I think I took my note at the beginning of the match. I think I've started doing this. When I'm doing my match notes, what I'll do is as soon as they walk out, I'll say Christian Cage. I'll type Christian Cage defeats Matt Hardy, and then I'll see if I'm right. And then if I have to switch it in my notes, but I'd say about 75% of the time I'm right. Daniel Garcia claims to be the Dragon Slayer after beating the American Dragon. Fine, I'm fine with that.
Bringing the Dragon Slayer name back now that Jack is gone.
And here's one that I'm not fine with. Pac defends some belt someplace against someone, but no one cares. That's what my notes say. I don't care, Byron. You can't make me care.
That's what the belt is for. It's to give Pac something to do for AEW.
And look, I hope they're getting promotion for it over there or something. But are they putting these matches on Dark or somewhere?
Yeah, they're on Dark and Full, just like
then
original.
Maybe it's serving its purpose. It doesn't do anything for me. I see the promo that it happened, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, Pac defends some belt against someone somewhere. That's literally all I get from it.
But the thing is, he's not going to be on Dynamite every week because of his visa, whatever travel issues.
I'm fine with that. Again,
they're making the best of it.
My issue is they're not finding a way for me to care about it. I don't care. Maybe other people do, and maybe it's working for somebody. It's just not. It doesn't do anything for me. Ethan Page deserves better promo times. Wants to know why he's not on TV. The bus or an action figure. Stokely gives Ethan the card. I liked that.
Yeah.
I was fine with all of that. Like, Ethan Page deserved that moment. Ethan Page does deserve better promos. Ethan Page should do this once a month. What he just did.
He just spent an entire program or two holding back to make Scorpio look good. And I love Scorpio. He's great for what he is, but and
I think this was always the deal. It was like, Scorp's going to have his time for a little bit, and then we're going to let you off the leash. He's off the leash.
Yeah. And
see what happens.
I
like that it's with Stokely and not with what's his
Smart Mark?
Smart Mark. I like Smart Mark, but I just I think that just switching it up a little bit for Ethan to get his little rub is worth it.
Well, I mean,
it's nothing against Smart Mark at all.
Smart Mark, I think, also was right place, right time. And by doing a lawyer gimmick, he was able to kind of sort of Paul Heyman multiple talents who didn't have anything to do with each other. Yeah. And he was sort of filling a role, utility role with the new company.
Look, there's always going to be a place for guys who can talk a little bit and will take manager bumps. I think that AEW needs to have a guy like that around. And also, if you need to just take him off TV for a while, then you can. It doesn't matter. I don't have the issue that some fans I see having with Smart Mark. I think Smart Mark absolutely serves his purpose. Plus, he's down with, he's very inside the business doing the wrestling figures podcast or whatever. He's a good guy to have around. He's got a lot of goodwill out there. People like him backstage. He's a nice guy. He's a good dude, and he knows how to go out and do a little bit of work. And the role that he's in is because that role is what was needed. They need the comedy. Mm-hmm. It's the same shit my boy Danny Deals does over at NWA. Yeah. He's a smart guy. He's not a clown in real life, but he goes out there and he does kind of the clown manager gimmick. Smart Mark does that. It's tried and true. I don't have an issue with it.
In every segment Smart Mark does, everyone else gets over, which
Correct.
is great.
And it always should be that way.
I thought it was funny how when everyone was asking for Sonny to be put in the baddies, which, by the way, I'm back into wanting Sonny in the baddies, but Jade said that they were already full, unfortunately, even though Sonny rules. And Sonny deserves their own time, their own space. But then you have Stokely, who got added in, is now recruiting people, recruited Lee Moriarty as well. And it's okay, that's funny. They're getting, is that if that's the same group, they're getting bigger. But
it's kind of messed up. But I mean, I think it's just a Stokely thing. We'll see. I don't think they're necessarily baddies, but
well, when Stokely got hired, Tony said Stokely Hathaway was the best manager in wrestling today. And
I mean, to me, he's really the only one because he's the only one that actually has a stable, especially now that fucking Tully's gone.
Yeah. But what you're seeing, I think, I mean, it's I thought I made a joke, when your boss hires you and tells everyone that you're the best manager in wrestling, he's going to put you to work.
Yeah.
And now we're going to, instead of seeing Smart Mark in 7 segments and, representing MJF, doing Jade, and then doing this and that, and Tony Nese, Now you're gonna, I mean, it is an upgrade to have Stokely do that. No offense.
I think so,
Mark.
and I think that he can play it a different way, and I think Stokely can still play it for comedy as well at times too. But I think you have Smart Mark to kind of shepherd more tightly knit little thing, and then you have Stokely to do kind of a bigger, like more like the old Heenan thing of like anybody that Stokely's near is just a heel, and then you get the instant heel factor heat on mid-card guys that you're trying to promote, plus somebody to talk for them if they need it.
And Stokely is going over
perfect
in his feuds.
Anna Jay will choke you out. Oh, God, I love Anna, but need a little bit of work on the backstage promo action.
It's better than it was.
It's a little bit better, but it's also like, here's the thing, AEW. If you're gonna go with Anna Jay will choke you out, push it down everyone's throats for 2 months straight. You have to commit to this thing. It's horrible.
She choked out a backstage dude.
I know she choked out some dude back there, and it's going to be part. But what I'm saying is, if you want this to get over, it can 100% get over. Jericho can help massage it at a certain point in time, but you have to let her do it all the time. You gotta take this one on the chin, Tony, because it's not good. And you're going to get booed, and people are going to ridicule it a little bit. But if you push the threshold with this one, eventually it'll be so much fun, and it'll be more of a kitschy inside thing. You can make this a cool wrestling thing, but you got to do it for 2 months straight. We'll see if Tony has the balls to keep the Anna Jay will choke you out thing going for 2 straight months to make it get over.
Jericho's going to make it happen.
Jericho will help. He'll give it the rub in like 2 promos, guaranteed, which is kind of all it needs. But then you still got to wait it out. You got to wait like 2 solid months on this one, Tony. See if he can do it. And then Ass Boys versus the Acclaimed in the dumpster match was just great. And yes, it was actually said that no filter, I ain't Instagram. We make Ass Boys retire like Vince McMahon. Direct shot. Very interesting.
Everyone loves the Acclaimed. Hey, how about the tribute dumpster spot? I thought that the boys got out before they dumped it because it looked dangerous.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
No, the way that they lined up, they had the little wood thing on the side, but they took a nasty bump inside that thing, and I hope they practiced it earlier because that didn't look fun. But I also liked Austin Gunn doing a little bit of the New Age Outlaw shuffle during the picture-in-picture. There's actually some good stuff. The mic drop through the table. Like, there was just fun stuff in that match. Jericho defeated Wheeler Yuta with a Lion Tamer. Yeah.
Good match.
I liked it. It was fine. It was exactly what it should be. Jericho should be headlining, and Jericho's looking good for Jericho right now. Rampage, I want to talk about real quick. Mox defeats some dude who won a Battle Royal. Blah. We talked about that already. Konosuke Takeshita squashes some dude. Again, perfect. Thank you. Love this guy. Love Konosuke. Makes perfect sense for him to squash somebody here. Let's keep this guy over. Like, I'm looking more and more at this guy, and I'm thinking, damn, if only New Japan didn't have the system that they had set up and they had the ability to bring him in as a top guy, they could so use him right now. Like, he's got knees.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a big, buff Japanese dude with knees. Something that New Japan doesn't have a whole lot of these days.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of it. And I just, like, and look, and honestly, if he stays in AEW, I put this guy on the roster full time. I love him. I love everything he's done. I think he's had some great matches. He looks like he's ready to work. His promo skills are obviously going to be lacking, but
yeah, if I'm Tony, I'm wanting, I would be looking to figure out how to cycle Joshi talent in and out, for programs, this and that. And there's going to be a few that you want to keep. Like, it'd be cool to have Riho and Shida full time. Takeshita is one of those. You just want him to be yours. Just grab him. Don't share him. Put him on the roster. Give him a run. Like, I don't even know what you do with him once he's on the roster, but I can tell you the guy's a goddamn star.
Like, I want to watch him wrestle. I don't even care if it's in the mid card. I don't care if he's jobbing out to guys. I don't care if he's winning or losing. I actually want to watch him wrestling. I find it entertaining, especially on a show that is more pure wrestling based. Like, he doesn't even need storylines. He's the guy I don't mind when they throw into a package without hyping him up. And slowly, because of doing that, it is hyping him up. It is telling a story of who this guy is, what his character is.
But you're seeing the story.
You're seeing it.
Yeah.
I agree. This is where it's working. I agree.
I also really enjoyed watching or listening to Excalibur pop for every single not Sami Zayn, Generico spot. Like, that's a haluva kick. Oh, there's the Blue Thunder Bomb. That reminds me of my old friend.
Exactly. But you're getting a lot of that in wrestling these days. I think the lines are being blurred. What was the other one? Oh, Madison Rayne defeats baddie number 3, who I'm just going to call baddie number 3. Look, she's already helping as the coach of the women's division. Here's the thing about Madison Rayne. She's going to challenge Jade. Like, Jade needs a Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne isn't the greatest that ever was, but she's in like she's the natty of AEW. That's what they literally brought her in to be, was like the veteran who can move around the ring, who can show these girls some ring psychology, that can make some things. Hi, Jocko.
What up?
That can make some things make sense.
Yeah.
I think that Madison Rayne was not a bad call. She does have to have a little bit of a run on TV, because a lot of people were like, well, if she's there to do that, why she got to put herself over and be in spots? It's like, because she needs to get comfortable with the product and be a part of the product. It makes perfect sense. They did the same thing with Mickie James for a little while. Yeah. And Mickie James is that person at NWA right now.
And that's how she's going to get that tight with Jade and be able to help her out by working directly with her.
100%.
But it was, Madison Rayne was a peculiar hiring to me. But I mean, when you think about it, and you go back to the TNA when they legitimately had the best women's division, Madison Rayne was in that group. They weren't workers, but they were. I mean, they were as sports entertainers.
Yeah, she knows the business. She knows the psychology.
Oh, they were the top female group in wrestling, so much that like. They created, maybe not created, but they really polished and made famous dynamic, whatever, a set of characters that WWE would repeat over and over again. First of all, Layla and Michelle McCool, for all credit to them, they completely ripped off the gimmick. And then in NXT, every single duo that had 2 women who were kind of mean to other people, and as heels, were ripping off Madison Rayne and Angelina Love, and the third one. Was there a third one?
Yeah, it was. Wasn't it Velvet? Was it Velvet Sky?
Velvet Sky.
Bubba Ray's lady.
Ex-lady.
Who actually have an action figure of somewhere. I liked Velvet Sky. She was fun. She was one of my faves back from that era.
But they were
not because of the in-ring performance.
But it's
Bubba Ray got good taste. That's all I'm gonna say.
But it's, I mean, even being in, they never did WWE, but they were like, as personalities, huge.
They were over, and they got it. And that's the whole thing. It's like when people talk about the women's division in AEW and the holes that it has. Part of the holes that it has is like the in-ring storytelling and the development and the being on television and how to present it as a product. And honestly, Madison Rayne's a perfect choice, because Madison Rayne did it and wasn't the best performer. Yeah, there's women who are better in WWE, and you had the Gail Kims who were, legit great wrestlers, but also look at Gail Kim's career. Part of Gail Kim's career was just figuring out how to make other performers that weren't at her level look good, so that she looked like she was a credible champion. Yeah. And I think Madison can actually help give some of the better girls some of that, of like, here's how you work with a lesser talent, because the levels of ability in the women's divisions globally are not the same. They're a lot further apart than what the men are dealing with on a large level. And when you have a one green guy in a men's division, they have to come up to where, 80% of their division is, but 80% of no women's division in any of these promotions is all at one level. Like WWE right now might be the closest to having, some parity in their wrestlers in the women's division that they've ever had. Like they have the closest ability-wise roster right now, I think, in history for female wrestling. But that's fine. And as more and more women are getting into it, I think that improves over time. It's just like with women's MMA, where it started out and it was a little like, oh, wow, that one girl just beat the shit out of everyone. But now it's like, oh my God, there's like 50 girls that are all fucking phenomenal. It takes a couple of years and it evens out. And I think with the popularity of women's wrestling right now and with the work that all these women are putting in, Madison Rain's in a perfect position. She should be teaching now, and she should still be in there performing a little bit too. I don't expect her to get a big push, and I think that would be inaccurate of what they should do with her, especially considering what they hired her for. Swerve in Our Glory defeats Tony Nese and Smart Mark and Josh Woods, and blah, blah, blah. That was Rampage. Battle of the Belts. I don't get it. Has anybody lost a belt on a Battle of the Belts show yet out of the 3 that they've done?
I think so.
I can't remember, but if it has happened, it's like this pretty much went down exactly the way I figured. Wardlow defeated Jay Lethal for the TNT title, which was good. Satnam Singh puts him through a table for his troubles. It was exactly what it's supposed to be, exactly what we just talked about, that Jay Lethal is, giving Wardlow the rub the right way, and he's learning something, and it's building the Wardlow story and the credentials. Thunder Rosa defeats Jamie Hayter.
Sammy Guevara beat Scorpio Battle of the Belts 2 to get
that was the
TNT.
one to get it back.
To get it back. So then Scorpio could have a real win.
Yeah, and that was that weird period where that one didn't feel right either, because it felt like this weird hot-shotting thing where they were going back and forth with the TNT title too much. Anyway, Thunder Rosa defeated Jamie Hayter, and I'm going to say this was an excellent match. Hayter looked like $1,000,000. There was one slight botch from her in the entire match, but she was a perfect complement to Thunder Rosa. Lots of outside action with Toni Storm and Britt and Rebel. The whole match worked exactly right. Everybody's timing with spots was really good, and I'm going to say something that we've never said before on this show, Byron. The camera department actually followed all of the action perfectly. They were in the right spots. The cuts were right. They did it right. And I have to say it because we've bashed on every promotion's camera department at one point or another. And since Lucha Underground, it hasn't felt like anyone got it right. But I noticed in the match because I was like, oh, they're about to miss the shot. I want to say, oh, they got it.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 times. They were in the exact right spots. They didn't miss any of the action. They had the close-ups at the right time. They avoided the unnecessary gratuitous crotch shots with women's matches in AEW. That is not always the case.
Yeah.
They got all the moves. It was like somebody who actually watched wrestling was finally directing the show. I don't know what they did to change it or improve it, but dear Lord, I hope they keep going. I still miss Lucha Underground, especially because Lucha Underground had the unfair advantage of actually being edited. You never missed a shot. They never needed instant replays. And, and AEW doesn't have the technical capabilities to do the instant replays the same way that WWE does. They're not going to do the speed ramping instant replay 3 seconds later and have it written into the script. Like nobody but WWE is going to do that. So I don't expect them to, but it would be nice if all of their camera work was as good as this match because it was great. They got everything right. And the match was excellent. This was better than Thunder Rosa Yamashita's 2. The first one was better than the second one. This is exactly what I wanted to see from these guys. This makes me want to see Hayter on top down the line, probably instead of Toni Storm or somebody else. Like
great finish that they keep protecting Hayter with roll-up finishes too.
I love it. I love what they're doing. And honestly, it makes me it makes me want to see that when it comes time for Thunder Rosa to drop the belt, I would rather her drop it to Hayter than Britt and cause an issue with Britt and Hayter, and then let's see what Britt and Hayter can do against each other.
It's more interesting.
Or Tony. Like, yeah, it's way more interesting. I think Hayter's the one, man.
I think Tony Storm came in and looked like she was the golden pony, whatever. And I think she is as great as she looked back then. You know, complete package as a star. But she has settled into the pecking order. You know, she's new.
Yeah.
And she's getting, you know, she's not waiting her turn, but she's not next in line. She's not going to come in and skip, which is working because she's still great in the ring.
Yeah. And look, this is going to be a good division. It's going to be hard to pick a favorite in this division soon. It's going to be similar to WWE. You got Ruby Soho, you got Jade, you got, you know, Jamie Hayter, you got Anna Jay trying to do a thing, you got Athena in the mix, you got Thunder Rosa, you got Serena Deeb still out there. Like, these women, you give it another year, and then I want to hear people talk bad about this division. You let these women work together, all of them, for a solid year. It's already starting to happen. They're forming bonds with each other. They're wanting to make each other look good. Big things are going to happen for this women's division. This is like that big graduating class from NXT. That is why WWE's women's division is so good with the real 4 horsewomen. You know, I think that you're going to start to get some of that now. So, and it looks like the Tony Storm Thunder Rosa bond is actually, that's a legit thing. That's a real deal.
That's super cool.
They're very happy with each other. They love working together. And so I think even after Thunder Rosa does have to come off the belt, I think that Thunderstorm is a great thing for both of them because it can keep them in play and at the top of storylines and make them valuable a lot longer. Plus, it can protect their bodies from dying out there because these girls go kind of hard.
Half the bumps. Oh my God. That pin breaking drop kick onto the back of Hayter's head by Thunder Rosa. Oh, ooh. I was like, do you really need to do it? Do you really need to kick her that hard? And then I remembered, oh no, yeah, absolutely.
It was great, but also like, ooh, y'all are stiff.
Yeah, but Jamie Hayter she has to be and Tony Storm's young, but Jamie Hayter has to be the youngest and malleable, made of rubber. Yeah.
Like, look, it's the same thing that I said too about Liv and Ronda. Like, Jamie Hayter is a great foil for Thunder Rosa. Like, it just fits Thunder Rosa's style. And they were able to just, you know, you see two people meshing and it working well, and all of a sudden, you know, every backdrop is elevated an extra inch. The timing, everyone's taking the right steps. There's no shuffle steps in there. Everyone's throwing a little bit more, or looking like they're throwing a little more pepper because, you know, the arm reach is right. And you're just feeling the distance. You're feeling the space. Like, they danced really well together. You know, you don't necessarily have that with everyone, but it made me like, honestly, when I watched this match, I was like, shit, this is what I wanted Britt and Thunder Rosa to be. Like, Britt and Thunder Rosa was really, really good, but also it had some clunky moments. There were some moments where they were both off a little bit of a step, or there was a little shuffle step and it doesn't matter because they worked really hard and they wanted to put on big shows, so it still worked fine. But this seemed fucking effortless for both of them. It was like, and it didn't look like one of them was leading more than the other. It looked like they both took their moments and their spots, and Britt was fucking ring generaling everything that was happening outside. Tony played her part right. Like, this was just, for the women's division, it was a near perfect match.
Yeah.
I defy somebody to tell me otherwise. And look, finally, Claudio defeats Konosuke Takeshita. It's just that it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. My note says, look, I hope he sticks with AEW full time. And I just don't know if they could ever give him a big run on top with the language barrier unless he's in the right faction. But his matches are just damn entertaining. He's got the perfect kind of American wrestling style with a little bit of the Japanese hybrid. He's not going full strong style. You know, it just works so well and it fits with AEW so perfectly. So, and mid-match, they got a standing O from the crowd. That doesn't happen in AEW very often.
They're both super fresh, super over talents that everyone is still super hungry to watch.
Yeah,
you know,
that standing O from the audience was the American equivalent of, you know, throwing pesos after the match. It really was. Like, that doesn't happen in the middle of a match like that. Like, people are either sitting down or maybe they're standing up because the whole thing is exciting. But basically, for there to be a moment where the crowd is just like, I'm going to get up and applaud now because this is fucking wonderful. Like, that doesn't happen very often.
No.
You know?
It's usually a bunch of chants that, you know, the fight forever thing, which is a little overplayed. But to have like that genuine emotional moment given by the fans, it's pretty cool.
Well, so Byron, I think the moral of this week's story is that you and I are going to have some fun weeks ahead, I think, between AEW and WWE, of seeing if Triple H can actually make not the better product, because I think we know it's the better product, but can he make the product that guys like us actually like more?
Yeah,
can Tony fucking fix his shit to make his product solidify as the product that guys like us are always going to like more?
I mean, I think I liked it in the Monday Night Wars when they both were doing really well and they both had to try and stay ahead of each other. And you're not going to get that specifically, but it would be great if Triple H started doing something that pushed Tony to improve the way he does things.
Or vice versa.
Well,
look, I'm very excited by the prospect of Triple H bringing some of the big match feel from NXT into weekly television. Like, if you can do that, if you can give me some of those matches where, like, in a weekly show, there's 2 matches that I actually want to watch the wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what WWE's been lacking. They got the storytelling down, man. But if they do that, we'll see, man. I might go out and buy some WWE merch. I might mark myself.
Here's the thing that is kind of promising towards that. Tony already pretty summarily beat Triple H and Triple H's NXT. TK beat it and then took the best weapons Triple H had at competing against AEW. Now Triple H is on a brand new throne
with bigger and better tools.
He's already like on a mountaintop. And so, you know, he's going to just Triple H is going to be making a better product than AEW. That's just the nature of it. But he's going to be pushed to make a better version of that better version.
Well, yeah, and it's like, look, we know what the Triple H style is, but also it's got to continue to go somewhere too. It's like you can't just wheel out Dakota Sky and Io, or sorry, Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Man, they fucked up with those names. That's going to be hard. Bailey's killing it. I'm killing it. Everyone's going to screw that up. It's Io Dakota. Anyway, you know, and you wheel out Kross, and then you slide Dexter Loomis into a fun thing. And the way that they're doing that storytelling is very interesting. I like it. It's very new. That was something new in wrestling, to really have it play in the background and not call it out at all.
That was the Drifter.
Yeah. But I mean, the Drifter was still even more on the nose than that. Like, and we'll see at what point in time you have to telegraph it or tell more of the story. Like, it would almost be interesting too if, like, you just left Dexter off for another week or two, and then maybe the next time you did it on NXT or you did it on SmackDown. Like, really create some bizarre intrigue around it for a while. Let's see if they have the ability to do that, or maybe they hotshot it and bring Dexter in, or, you know, it'll be interesting to see what you do with these things. And I don't think I saw the Maximum models weren't on this week, were they? Maybe that's been cooled and Triple H is going to retool that after all. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
We know he brought the guy back for a minute, and they ran out the promos that whatever had been planned, and maybe now Triple H is like, maybe not so much on the male model thing.
That's the whole fun of it.
We'll see. Again, I think a lot of it is sticking to your gumption. So, you know what I really think, though, about it, Byron?
What do you really think?
I think until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.